We're going to have a quick look today at how to cut some cosmos if you want to take some in and pop them into a vase, and then also quickly talk about actually seed saving as well and what you need to do to keep the varieties true to type. I will say though that this has been quite a difficult year for cosmos in my own garden. The ones in the pots and the patio are doing very well. They get a bit of morning sunshine and then they get some shade in the afternoon, which they're definitely enjoying. And of course they do also get watering because they're in pots. The ones in my borders, however, are still quite small and they aren't getting watered. We prioritise water for our veg, and they're just not really doing much yet. A couple of them have started to flower, but they're not as I would expect them to be at this stage. If we do suddenly start getting some more rain, then that of course could change and they might be absolutely fine. But at the moment we're going to have a look at the ones on the patio. Out of the 3 plants in this pot, only one of them has actually started to flower yet, and the other ones are looking a bit shriveled on the top. So it does look like they are getting a little bit of damage from the heat as well. So I've got one here which is just a spent flower, so all we're going to do with that one is take it down to a leaf or down to another junction and just move that one off. And then I quickly wanted to show you the difference between a flower that has just opened and a flower that has been open for a while and therefore pollinated. The centre of this flower that's been pollinated is darker than the other one, and also you can see that it's more raised and not as uniform as it was before, so the pollen has been moved about by bugs. Whereas this one that's opened today is nice and bright yellow and hasn't yet been pollinated. This is the point at which we want to cut them. It can be a little bit more closed up, but not completely closed or it won't open. And then this is going to last longer in a vase than one that's already been pollinated, because that's now going to be ready to start producing seeds. And then we're going to follow the plant right down, and it looks like you're going a long way down, but then further down here you will see that there's 2 new little shoots coming either side of the stem, and that's where we're going to cut. So that gives us a long stem ready for the vase. Obviously this one will go over sooner than the other one. So once we have harvested these, we can remove any of the lower leaves that are going to be in the water and then just pop them into a vase. You can of course condition them where you're just going to harvest them in the morning or late in the evening and then pop them into some water in the shade and then change them, recut the stem the next day and then pop that into some fresh water or make a bouquet if that's what you want to do as well. When it comes to saving seeds from cosmos, we do have the option of making sure that we keep them pure or just collecting the seeds and see what comes from there, because they cross-pollinate quite easily. If you're growing one variety, then of course you can just save them absolutely fine. You have no issues with that. To do this, we're just going to select 2 flowers off of 2 different plants that are the same variety, and we're going to pop an organzo bag over them while it's closed. Then once it's opened, we can simply take a paintbrush and take the pollen from the centre of the first flower and move it into the centre of the second flower, and then pop that organzo bag back over, and we will then be able to collect the seeds once it has matured fully. I don't usually think about starting to actually save seeds until a little bit later on into the season, because these cosmos are going to continue to flower right up until our first frosts. So mine's usually around sort of mid-October. So from sort of September, that's the time where I won't be cutting all of the dead heads off. And we do want to make sure we do take the heads off, because that's going to encourage more blooms and stop the plant thinking that it's already achieved its goal of producing seeds.